Alright, we have a toolbox tour video finally. However, after recording it, I realized it wasn't in landscape, so sorry about that, and the audio wasn't too good, so I'm going to try this voiceover. I'm a fleet mechanic, work on everything from lawnmowers, backhoes, up to 10-wheelers. I'd say the majority of it is probably F-250s up to 550s. Got a ton of those, and Explorers and other passenger cars. But I did get this box used about 2 months ago. My coworker traded it in. He only had it for about 2 years. He took great care of it, so it's still in great condition. Was waiting on some organization stuff from Snap On, but it just never came. I was going to get it before I did this video. Got a coffee pot now. Drink way too much coffee. And I figured the layout's pretty much going to be the same. Now, I used to have a service cart when I worked at the dealerships where I had all my most used tools in so I can quickly grab stuff. So that's why I kind of like to put a lot of stuff in my hutch to take advantage of having a hutch so I can quickly grab stuff. But I moved all that stuff into my box out of my cart, and I got one of these Gearwrench service trays, which I love a lot. I like having that added work surface area. I just kind of put what I need on that and go. Like I said, this stuff should all be cleaned up when I get some more that organization stuff from Snap On. Keep some random stuff up there, stapler, battery chargers. And then there's two of these packs back here. Those are for the Echo locks. This box has the remote controlled key fob locks. There's one of those packs for the hutch and another one for the actual box. Still uses one fob. That's just how my coworker had it all laid out right there. It's not really in the way yet. I haven't felt the need to put anything there, but I do plan on routing those so it goes from the back inside of the hutch, so it's not really all bundled up right there. Keep some ratchets up there. And everything from 1/4 inch up to 1/2 inch. No, probably don't need all those ratchets there, but I like them hanging there. That Speed Wipe from Chemical Guys is great to wipe down your box. They sell that at Walmart. It's not too expensive. And stuff like this, I plan on mounting to the hutch so it's not in the way. I'm just waiting on that stuff to get in from Snap On. And then we got our computer monitor. Now, I was hesitant to mount that just because of the space it takes up. But I'm kind of glad I did because we do a lot of work from the computer. We do all of our own parts and work orders and stuff like that. So there's quite a bit of computer work to be done throughout the day. And I like being able to stand at my box and work from it. And it does swivel out so you can still access stuff behind it. Although I don't have anything right now. And then these trays are from Easy Red. Pop out, magnetic. Same ones Matco sells, it's a different shape. I think they're like $20 on Amazon for the 3. And then we have that LED light strip on this top. It's a nice touch, but probably not necessary. And I plan on changing the or layout of this top drawer as time goes on. It's not really quite laid out how I want, but on the bottom left here we have our Mechanic Time Savers tray. I like to keep my most used sockets on, so I can just grab that whole tray, put it onto the Gearwrench one, and have everything I really need. That right side of rows, all 1/4 inch. We have some Snap-on impact swivels there. I love those. Got them on a good deal, like $100, I think. My coworker had never even opened the box, and he sold it to me. And then the Gearwrench semi-deeps are the chrome sockets that are there, 1/4 inch. All this is metric, and the rest of that's pretty much going to be Snap-on. So we got Snap-on 3/8 shallow and deep chrome sockets on the next 2 rows. And then the hex sockets you see are Snap-on 3/8 drive. That's the Gearwrench sockets I was talking about. And then next to those hex sockets, we have 1/2 inch drive, semi-deep impact sockets from Snap-on. They tend to pretty much work just fine. I don't really feel the need to have too much shallow or deep really anymore. And those are 1/2 inch swivels, impact, and 3/8 swivels, except for that one is a Matco 19mm because the Snap-on set doesn't come with a 19. I used to have a complete set of Matcos. I hated them. They broke a lot, just weren't that great. And it was buy one, get one free for the shallow and the deep 3/8 impact sockets. So I went ahead and pulled the trigger on those. Love them. I probably would spend the full price on those impact swivels from Snap-on. Some of those are Gearwrench, and then these two are Koken 1/4 inch swivels with the nut grip. Those are awesome. Got to check them out. I have the 10mm coming. It was back ordered, but I do plan on getting the full set actually because I like them that much. Those are Sonex magnetic sockets. 1/4 inch Snap-on metric. Not really worth paying Snap-on money for those because I feel like you'll lose them before you break them. And then some deep 1/4 inch from like Gearwrench and Craftsman. Use those for years. And then Matco axle nut socket set. I think I have one that's not in there. I just didn't have the right size. And then this is all 1/2 inch in the back. It's Right Tools for the shallow, Milwaukee for the deeps. And some 1/2 inch ballpoint sockets even further back there that I'll probably never use. And then those are Mac USA shallow and deep impact sockets. The ones I just grabbed right there are Koken chrome swivels. Sometimes you need them because the impacts are bulky, but the impacts will do most of the things you need out of a swivel socket, I do find. Now, I try to keep my SAE sockets on the right over there all in the red, except for this quarter-inch set right there of shallow and deeps. Then we have the snap-on low profile set. I tend to use the ratchet out of the 3/8 kit more than I actually do those sockets. It's great for like belt tensioners. And then we have the quarter-inch drive. Now, this kit's awesome. I paid $150 for it on promo. I don't know what it is now, but that paired with those stubby bit set that's below that is a game changer. Will definitely save you some time in some really tight spots. Worth having. And we have a Blue Point Torx bit or Torx socket set. No hex in this one, just all Torx. I like to keep it open like that so I can quickly grab what I need, although it does take up a considerable amount of space. And then up there is the Icon long hex sockets. I don't use those too often, so I don't really feel the need to spend a bunch of money on them. And then we have metric semi-deep snap-on. FDX sockets, I believe is what they call them. I'm not a huge fan of them. Don't recommend them as your everyday sockets, but they do come in handy when you have a rounded fastener. It's not too severely rounded. Shallow and deep SAE snap-on 3/8, and then up there semi-deep half-inch SAE snap-on. Not need to buy that kit. And then these are Mac swivel sockets, 3/8 impact, and then those are just some Icon hex SAE. Various extensions, chrome locking, got them at 3/8 impact. Chrome. Those are Wobble Plus quarter-inch. Those are awesome. Just recently picked up these half-inch impact extensions from Snap-on. I had to use Pittsburgh ones for years, and they had worked fine, but I did want to upgrade. Some more ratchets. We got some Koken in there, Mac, Nipros, KTC, another Snap-on flex head. This one's a Baco with the same internals as a Snap-on 72-tooth ratchet. Snap-on breaker bar, old school Snap-on. And I keep some random sockets on these mag rails. Now, the red magnet is a Mac one. Those are like $40, but the Lowe's sells the blue ones for like $12. It's the exact same magnet. They're just as strong. I have a couple of those. And the next store should be the wrench store. We have kind of some doubles because I used to keep some of these wrenches in my tool cart, but now I don't have it, as I've said before. We got our right tools on the bottom left there. It goes up from, I think, 7 millimeters all the way up to 24. Awesome wrenches. I do another video on those. Some gear wrench stubbies, some random wrenches in the back, some line wrenches, some Pittsburgh offset ones I don't use too often. Some gear wrench flex head ones. Those are platinum. Mountain makes them, Matco makes them, or sells them, I should say. All the same, they're great. And I got some Snap-on. Both sets up there are Snap-on double box end. I bought those off a coworker at a different shop for a pretty good price. And then those are just the normal Flank Drive Plus. I used to keep those in the tool cart. Still great wrenches. And then we have the Precision Torque Mac ones and SAE. Love those. It goes up from, I think, a quarter to 15/16 in that set, and then up to a quarter or an inch and a quarter in the larger set. But I do love those wrenches. Some adjustable wrenches there, used for different weird fittings, but not too often. Some extensions. Those ones are Wobble Max, and then we got our torque wrenches. We have quarter-inch, 3/8, and half-inch. The other two are Snap-on, but the red box is a Proto. Quarter-inch. I used to use that when I worked at the dealerships for torquing down the airbag inflators quite often. I believe when I actually did torque those down. And then we got pliers in here, scrapers, picks, screwdrivers, a couple of pry bars, I believe. Nothing too fancy on the pliers. I do want to get some other ones in there. A couple Snap-on Knipex. Oil filter stuff. I used to keep the larger Snap-on plier set right there in my tool cart. But now they're both in the box. Might bring some of those home. Seal pullers, pick short and long, Snap-on, some Snap-on screwdrivers, Icon, radiator, pick set, more Mac scrapers, and then right over here we got some panel poppers, some pry bars. Another pry bar I can't see because the way the box is. There's one tucked in there. Speed drawer. Now this is just how my coworker had it laid out. He has all those organizers screwed in and then cut the liner to fit. And he did a pretty good job at it. So I kind of just left it because the dividers won't move around when they're screwed down. As of now, it's working just fine. Although I do have extra liners that I might replace that one day and kind of set it up how I need it. But as for now, it's just fine. Kind of a lot of junk in there anyways. I do plan on adding actual stuff I use a lot. That drawer is just the one that has a writing surface. I keep my keys and stuff like that in there. And then we have some micrometers, dial indicators right there on the right. But this is mainly my electrical drawer. So we got my Snap-on multimeters and that. I like that one because it has a colored screen. Probably could pull it out and do a video on that one day. Some test leads are in that pouch. And then I have my power probe soldering iron. And then above that is a torch I bought off Amazon that has soldering bits to it. And I find I like using that to solder more than I do the power probe. So I use that more often. And then the power probe there, the regular tester one. Some leads. I don't really use that shrink tube ever from Harbor Freight. I don't like it too much. It doesn't have any good insulation in there. We got a Fluke amp clamp. We do work on generators, so I use that for that often. I mean, mainly just do services on them rather than diag, but just some other electrical stuff. And then down in here, we got hammers, drills, drill bits, Snap-on, Milwaukee, Mac. I do like Milwaukee hand tools quite a bit. These two drills, the air drills I bought off a coworker when he retired. And then that Ingersoll Rand air hammer just got not too long ago to replace my old one. I recommend Ingersoll Rand for air tools, although I don't have a ton of air tools. I tend to use more electric. Snap-on tap and die kit. Just buy the Irwin one. Save the money. I have an Irwin extractor set there on the left that I'll point out. And if you're worried about the warranty, I broke in extractors, and then this kit I bought off Amazon for like $6. It was delivered the next day, and now I have doubles of some, so if they break, I already have it. And I don't think Snap-on warranties some of the smaller bits anyways. Irwin drill bit kit there. And then on the right is a proto ratcheting screwdriver set with different bits in there. I did a separate video on this. I bought this kit, I think, for like $80 off Zorro. It's the same one Mac sells, except for this one I think has like a little bit less on the tool count on the bits. But just some punches and stuff like that over there on the left. There's some Matco set of punches. This drawer is not organized at all. I just kind of stuff the cases in there how I can get the drawer to close when I transfer stuff over from my old box. That I think is Tool Guy is a brand. It's a fluid transfer pump. It's the same one Matco sells. It's 120 at the time, at least when I bought it. It will save you a ton of time having one of those, like diff services and stuff like that. Maddox caliper kit. Had that for years. I've just never really found an alternative that I felt worked that great, that was worth buying when I already had that. So that's just what I stuck with for all these years. Below that's a airlift for doing coolant. Filling cooling systems with a vacuum. It works great. Blue Point flip socket set that has a twist ones on it. That's a Polar. Cooling pressure tester from Snap-on. And then this I just recently bought with a gift card I had at Harbor Freight. It's an Icon snap ring plier set. I don't use snap ring pliers too often, so I don't want to spend a bunch of money on them. And that kit's nothing too fancy about it, but it does work. And that's a large gear wrench tap and die kit. Has both metric and SAE in it. Pretty complete kit too. And that's a Mac Tools spark plug socket set. Pretty much should have every spark plug socket I can imagine you needing in there. And I just recently picked this up, the Lyle Master Fuel Pressure Tester Kit. I got tired of not having the right fitting in the basic one I had, so I went ahead and pulled the trigger and got that. It's like $300 on Amazon. It's a little pricey. Power tools, a lot of Milwaukee. I got a Snap-on 1/4 inch in there, Snap-on 3/8. I got Ingersoll Rand 1/2 inch and 3/8, and then I got that 1/2 inch Milwaukee, which is great when you're on the go. I do a lot of road calls. And then those two die grinders I bought as a pair when I was a Lube Tech for Mac. They've held up just fine. And then down here, we've got some more cases and my coffee. Slide hammer. That should be a cylinder leak down tester, which I used a ton at Dodge. Compression tester, also use that. Thread chaser. I think I got like O2 sensor sockets in there. That's for the cooling fans to break them loose with the air hammer. Lyle makes that. Great kit. A few other boxes in there. Nothing too crazy. That's pretty much it. The color, I like the color a lot. I can't remember what they call it. I like all black, but I had to learn the all black's a pain to kind of keep looking halfway decent. So I'm pretty happy. Got lucky that this is the box that he had bought, because I am actually very happy with that color. Glad I don't have the power drawer, because I think it actually would take up too much space for the cases. And I don't mind having the chargers up there. Note, it's worth noting that that light bar is the Icon light bar. It's like $99, so it's not super cheap, but it's great. It's motion sensed. I have to do a video on that. So when you open the hutch, it'll turn on. It's magnetic, so it just pops right up there on the top. It has a little controller. It mounts to the back of the hutch, which is also magnetic. So you can see I still have some space behind that monitor. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for watching.